Hey folks, in this video I want to show you how to remove the ignition lock cylinder and the ignition switch in this 72 Plymouth. Now this is an A body, it's like a Dart or a Scamp or a Valiant, but the B bodies would be the same, and I believe the C bodies are the same too, but I'm not totally sure on the C bodies. Now this is assuming you've already removed the steering wheel and the lock cylinder plate, the locking steering wheel plate, and the collar, the column collar. So in the previous video, I'll show you how to do that, and I'll link that in the description so you can watch that video prior to doing this one. Okay, folks, so I got my old trusty Chilton's manual out that I want to say I bought this thing. It's in 1980. I want to say I bought this thing about 1980. I've had this, what, 43 years now, 44 years. Pretty helpful. Now, I'm working on that Plymouth Scamp 72, but it says to go to the Aspen Valaris section under ignition switch lock cylinder removal. And it talks about disconnecting all that kind of stuff. You need to do that. Wiring connectors, disconnect turns, so you don't need to do all that. Disconnect the transmission levers, remove the column through the passenger compartment, number 7. You don't need to do that either, folks. I don't know what happened on this particular chapter of this book, but all you need to do is go to number 11. Insert a small screwdriver into the release hole. Place it in lock, of course. And the number 9 has already been done. At least I have already done it. Maybe you need to do number 9 too, but all this up here you don't need to worry about. So, let's go out to the car and let me show you how to pull this thing out. Okay, folks, so it looks to me like you press that right there. Yep, y'all see that? And the lock cylinder will slide out. And it says in that book to make sure it's in the lock position with the key. Now, I don't have the key, which is why I'm taking this out. So don't have but 2 hands, so I can't hold the phone and work that button and slide the lock cylinder out. So I'm gonna set you up on a little tripod and we'll see what happens. Alrighty, folks. Just push in there. Look at there, came right out. Ain't that something? How easy that was. And so there it is, it came right out. So now the next thing is to get this lock out, the ignition switch, I should say. Let me get I didn't bring a Phillips, so let me bring a Phillips screwdriver and we'll get that out. Now what I'll do, I'll just put a rubber plug in here because this is a drag car. I'm gonna have a push button starter mounted somewhere, I'm not sure where yet. Usually I'm mounted up here, but we'll see. Not worried about that today. So I'll be right back. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I'll just get a Phillips, pop these 3 screws off, and that'll get the ignition switch out, and I'll disconnect the wiring for it, and we'll go from there. All right, folks, this is the tool. And there's a number on it, WT. See if I can. It says Mac Tools. Mac Tools WT565. Now, here's the deal. Met the tool dealer at the car dealership, and told him that I was needing one of these for older MOPARs, and the only thing he had in stock on his truck was this one, which he says is what the technicians today buy. Wow, we out of focus. What is going on? So I had to buy what he had, and I have used it on a few older MOPARs, and it doesn't work the best in the world, but it does work. So let me show you how it works, okay? And get you set up on the tripod. Now in this video, I had already removed this lock plate and the mechanism. It kind of goes with all that. So if you're getting into that and you can't access that button, you should be able to, but you should be able to. But there's this plate right here you can take off. And I don't know what I did with the plate. Here it is. You take that plate off, it fits right in here somewhere. And should be able to get in there to that pin. But it's just a matter of unbolting stuff till you get down there to it. Okay folks, in this video I'm working on an old Plymouth and I'm trying to remove the wires. As you can see, I've already done a few of them. And I'm using this Matco tool right here. Matco, can you guys see that? Matco Tools WT565. And it's got different attachments depending on what kind of connector you have. And in my case, I'm using this connector right here for this wiring harness. And all you do is push it in the hole there, and it pushes the wiring harness out without damaging the connector. So after you get this snaked this way up through the steering column, this is a turn signal switch, then you can put it back together. Or if you need to replace, a lot of times when you buy the switches, these aren't connected, but in order to get the old one out, you have to take these connectors off, unless you want to just cut them. But in this case, this is a good switch. I'm going to save it. All right, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now I took a picture of the wires and where they go. And I noticed this end here is pointed and this is flat, so I can put them back the correct way. And just take the particular one that I'm using, which is this one here. And all you do is push it in. I didn't want to go in that one. And that wire comes out. I don't know why I didn't want to go in the black one. And let's do this one. Let's do this white one right next to it. Push it in like that. See, it's all the way in. And just pull it out. That's all it is to it, folks. Pretty simple. I may have to try one of these other sizes to get the other one out, but let's try this black one more time. Actually, let's try this green one. I had trouble with it too. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that's the wrong size. Let's try a different size and see if it goes in. Nope. There we go. All right, folks, there we go. I had to fight that one a little bit, but it finally came through there. I spoke too soon, I think. I don't know why that one's being so difficult, but it is. Whew. Lord have mercy. All right. And the green was the same way, but the rest of them came out easy. But that's how you do it. Just note that one side of this thing is tapered and this is flat. So I took a picture of the wires where they go, and it went like this. So just keep that in mind. This tool here is just a few minutes. You can have your wires disconnected, folks. Just like that. All right, folks. So I got all the wires loose. Now it's just a matter of pulling it through the steering column shroud. There you have it. See there? And as for this wire here, that's part of this other harness, so we ain't gonna worry about it right now. We'll wait it later. And then I just simply just reconnect them into the correct spot based on the photograph that I made. All right, folks, so I was able to get these wires out of this harness. Still got these here I got to disconnect because they need to go back into the harness, but right now we want to get this switch out so we can get the steering column put back together. So I got my Japanese screwdrivers back, so let me pop this switch out. All right, the switch is out. I just got to disconnect these here now, and so I can put everything back into the connector right here. Okay, folks, so I guess this is going to conclude this video where you saw how I took the switch out in the lock cylinder, and then how I disconnected the wires from the connector. So I don't need to bore you with the rest of it. I'm going to finish taking this wiring out, and I got my tap and die set out. I did clean up the threads on both the steering shaft and the nut, And 'cause I had boogered them up a little bit when I was trying to pull on it. Well, I didn't realize how that thing came apart. So they're putting it back together. I do need to put the collar back on right here. And I'll use the snap ring, put the collar on, the snap ring, and the 3 bolts. Put all that back on, but I'm not putting an ignition switch or any switches back in it because it's going to be a drag car with a switch panel. And so none of this is necessary. So we're going to rip all this wiring out. We're going to put in a drag racing wiring harness. And just the basic, simple stuff to operate what we need to operate. But folks, I hope you got something out of that. Please hit that thumbs up. That really helps the channel, helps the algorithms. Doesn't cost you guys any money at all. And it helps the hobby, the overall general hobby. And watch this video in its entirety and the commercials and all if you can bear them. I have no control over what commercials they put on the channel. I know some of them are kind of yeah. But if you get a chance, we've been doing this for a while now, over 3 years. All kinds of videos on this channel: drag racing, how to repair stuff, messing with drag cars, going to junkyards, dragging old cars out of junkyards, touring junkyards, just taking videos, car shows, all kind of neat stuff. Scroll down, see something you like, hit that like button on that video, watch it through its entirety. If you got time to watch 2 or 3, that would be great. That would really help. The older videos are really getting a lot of views. My knees are killing me. I'm trying to change position here. Sucks getting old, guys. But yeah, we've got a lot of videos, and the videos have really been picking up, the older ones, and I really appreciate that, guys. You guys are doing what I'm asking you to do, and that is wonderful. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And this is Bob, and I'm out.